This is TWiT. Apple's got some new patents, including a wacky patent that's designed to make your iPhone act like a cat. So when you drop it, it flips around to land on its feet, so to speak. It lands on the bumper instead of the screen. Supposedly uses the built-in, I guess it's an actuator for the haptics hardware that's inside iPhones, and it sort of turns itself around. Are they crazy? Anyone imagine this ever working?
I'm actually a mechanical
first of all,
engineer.
I just want to highlight.
Go ahead, Serenity.
Who wins?
Oh yeah, I was just going to make a joke about how that patent looks like the internals of a lightsaber, not a shifting iPhone in midair. I thought that was amusing, but no, I mean I think it's a really interesting idea. I think that, potentially there might be internals in there, but that can detect falls and compensate accordingly. In this small of a package, though, I'm not quite sure. You want to chime in a little bit more with your electrical engineering background?
Not electrical, mechanical, actually. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Mechanical. Sorry.
I think with a certain length of time, I could probably figure out how to do this with the actuator that Mike talked about and all kinds of different components. But making that in the thickness of an iPhone, I could probably do it in about a 4 or 5 inch thick piece of material. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. But I don't know, maybe they're going to have nanotechnology in there by the time that they get around to actually making something like this.
Well, so we got a phone that in the future that's going to be made out of sapphire. The metal parts are going to be liquid metal, according to previous patents, and we're continuing to speculate. But Alice, I think you have an interesting idea though. There, like, what if someone were to this would be a crazy Kickstarter, of course, but to make a protective case that not only has an extended battery, but also has like higher powered actuators that could do really cool things. Like, for instance, actually give you a really good chance at landing, if you drop a phone, landing it in a safe way. But also things like you could turn it into like a mini Roomba, where if you drop it on the floor, you don't know where your phone is. It won't just find your phone and say, "Here phone." It'll and get closer and closer.
They've got that camera app that lets you stand it on end, right?
Yeah, that rotates 360 degrees. Yeah,
and it's like magical too. I would have, when I saw it, I would have expected just like vibrate, just like sort of turn around like randomly, like one of those old like football players, one of those like old tabletop football games. But it's like, no, it's like turn 10 degrees, take the picture, turn 10 degrees. It's like, that's spooky, man. And I want to see phones that have interesting, weird features like that. I would love it if that were something that Apple were to demonstrate at a keynote someday.
I've got it. What was that game when we were little kids? It was like, it wasn't Rock'em Sock'em Robots, but it was around that time area where the little robots would kind of go like this and go zzz and bash each other.
It was like that was before my time too. But it was like some sort of vibrating like metal plate, and so football players just sort of like wherever they stopped. Yeah.
Now we can have our iPhones doing it.
I have the feeling
I thought that. Well, I always thought that maybe there's an opportunity for a game developer, because like maybe this is the time for this has passed, because it would have worked better with like actual pocket pagers that have really powerful buzzers. But what if we have like a bar top football game where everybody puts their own personal pagers on the table, and by sending text messages, like by paging yourself, you could basically have the pass plays run, and it would cost you like $1 per play. But AT&T would be very happy about it, and if you manage to get the peanut on top of your Motorola pager to the edge of the table before anybody else, there you go. You win a free beer.
Andy, you really got to come to Silicon Valley and launch a company.
Why is my genius wasted on the East Coast? Good heavens!
Yeah, I know.
It's the loss to society that I worry about, not any monetary gain that I might be missing out on.
Of course not, Andy. Of course not.